Hi, I'm Rachel Collins, and today I want to talk to you about the key steps I take when I start to feel myself getting under the weather. As a mum, a business owner, wife, housekeeper, I have too many people relying on me and too many responsibilities to get ill. I'm sure you're exactly the same, so stay tuned to hear exactly which supplements I take, what lifestyle changes I make, and what I do kind of all the time in the background for prevention. Okay, so this time of year I get asked this question all the time. Oh, I'm starting to feel a bit of a cold coming on. I feel really poorly. I feel run down. I feel under the weather. What do I need to do to start to feel better? Well, a good old favourite of mine, if you're starting to feel a bit poorly with a cold, is a nice hot honey, lemon and ginger drink. I think so many of us know about that one now, but it's lovely and it's great and it's a really good tonic. It's really soothing on the throat. The vitamin C in the lemon's brilliant for you, so that's a great one to get started with. But there are a few other things that I always do as well. So as soon as I see any hint of a cold or of the flu in my house, I get the elderberry syrup out. Now, I personally buy an organic one from Neal's Yard Remedies. I think you can get that in the UK, in the US. I'm not so sure about other countries around the world, but you can easily buy it in lots of health food stores. You can also make your own, which is really cool, and I do have a recipe which I can link to below this video to help you out. Elderberry syrup is really, really powerful at fighting viruses. It actually prevents them from being able to replicate and spread. So as soon as there's a hint of any kind of virus in the house, we all start taking the elderberry syrup. My girls think it's some kind of cordial. It's a really sweet, yummy drink, so it's a really easy one to implement. I also make sure that we are taking our probiotics every day because most of our immune system is in our gut. So we need to make sure we've got really good, strong gut health. The other thing that I make sure is going on all through the winter is a vitamin D supplement, and vitamin D studies have shown that vitamin D boosts our immune system by about 42%. That's huge, right? And so that's specifically around colds and flu. So people who take vitamin D as a regular supplement reduce their risk of having a cold by 42%. Wow. The other thing that I always do is I add in echinacea tincture. Again, I buy mine from Neal's Yard Remedies. I'll put a link below, but there are plenty of other places that you can buy it. I take 15 to 20 drops 3 times a day when I'm starting to feel under the weather, and that really, really supports my immune system. So that is echinacea tincture, elderberry syrup, probiotics, obviously your honey and lemon and ginger drink to really soothe your throat, to make you feel a bit better. And the other thing that I do is I double up on my fruit and vegetable, concentrated fruit and vegetable capsules. And actually they're a big part of my prevention plan, so I'll talk about that in a little while. So lifestyle things that I put in place on top of those supplements. I get as much rest as possible. Now, I know we all know we're meant to rest when we're poorly, whether you've got cold, flu, tummy bug, whatever it is that you've got. We know we're meant to rest, but that doesn't mean it always happens. You need to prioritise rest. You need to look at your day and think, right, where can I actually fit in a break? Can I get to bed early? You really need to make a conscious effort to prioritise it. I know what mums are like. We always have a million things to do and we never get to bed at the time we want to, and we never get enough sleep. The other thing that I do is I consciously start looking over how I've been living my life over the last few weeks, even months, because the way I've been living my life is really what gets me to a stage of being run down and starting to feel under the weather. So particularly this time of year, it's easy to get run down, but I look over the last few weeks and think, hang on, have I really been looking after my body? Have I been resting enough? Have I been getting enough sleep? Have I been eating properly and really nourishing my body from the inside out? Have I been under a lot of stress? Stress really knocks your immune system. And once I've looked over my lifestyle over the last few weeks, last couple of months, I can start to pinpoint what other changes I need to make. It might be that I look over the last few weeks and think, crikey, yeah, I have been under a lot of stress, and I actually really need to start looking after me again and allowing myself some downtime and scheduling in that hot bath or whatever it is I need for me to reduce my stress levels. So in terms of lifestyle changes that you make, actually having a little look back over what you've been missing and what you haven't been kind of consciously supporting yourself with over the last few weeks, that helps you identify what lifestyle changes you need to make right now to stop this going any further and getting worse. Now, obviously the best thing that you can do is to not get run down in the first place. So, prevention. All through the winter, my whole family takes a vitamin D supplement. In the summer, I kind of feel like we're getting enough of it because I make sure we get outside and get our sunshine. But in the winter, we live in England, we don't get a lot of sunshine, so I make sure we all supplement with that. I make sure we're always on a probiotic, and we eat pro and prebiotic foods. Kefir is a fabulous sparkling drink that's full of probiotics, so I highly recommend getting on Amazon and buying some kefir grains and making your own at home. It's an awesome home brew. Definitely worth giving that a go. Again, I can post a link to some grains below the video. So we're always on vitamin D through the winter. We have our kefir drink, which is yummy. My girls love their fizzy juice, and again, like the elderberry syrup, it's great for them. They don't realise how good it is for them. And we take a probiotic supplement. Again, I can put a link below to the one that I recommend and I use. When choosing a probiotic, you need to get as high a number of colonising units as possible and a broad range of bacteria strains. We don't yet know exactly which ones are the most healthful, and actually the latest research is showing that we all need slightly different strains of bacteria, and different strains thrive in different people's bodies. So just get one with a diverse range of bacteria and really, really high numbers of colonising units. You're looking for about 10 billion ideally. That sounds huge, doesn't it? But that's going to make sure you get as much of the bacteria reaching the right places in your gut as possible. So the last thing that I always use with my family for prevention is a concentrated fruit and vegetable supplement. Now, fruits and veggies are absolutely the best way to nourish our body, make sure we are getting all of the phytonutrients, thousands and thousands of nutrients that we need from plant sources. We need to be eating at least 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. Now, that actually just sounds overwhelmingly huge for a lot of families. So I support my family with this fruit and vegetable concentrate to make sure that they are getting the variety of fruit and veg that they need and getting all those thousands of phytonutrients that they need. You know, even as a health coach, my diet isn't perfect, and my toddlers certainly aren't perfect. They have days where they just refuse to eat anything but biscuits and crackers, and as much as I say, no, you can't have that until you've eaten your dinner, it doesn't always work. Toddlers' appetites are not great. So again, if you want to add that in to support your family, I'll put a link below the video. So, have I missed anything? I probably have. I've been rattling at the screen for a few minutes now, but that doesn't mean I've got it all. What do you do when you're starting to feel under the weather? What's the best tip that you've got that you can share with other mums? Because it's so important we all stay as healthy as we can to look after our family. Post below because I really want to read what you do. Take care. Bye.